as this is the last report of 2018, I may be using the F word a few times. So if you can't see it because of age restrictions or whatever, get over onto one of my other ones, DTube, BitChute, Dailymotion. Get over on there and you should be able to watch it without the problem of censorship. Now, today's first point is going to be very, very important, and I want you all to pay attention. I'm going to be reading it. This posting on a friend of mine who works on DWP, just a heads up for anyone who ends up losing their home because of DWP sanctions that remove their JSA or ESA or universal credit, whatever bullshit they come up with next. Please ensure that anyone you know, so you need to get this out to everyone you know that's in any sort of struggling situation, who is sanctioned, understands that there is help. Now, I've said this before, but I'm putting it out again. If your money is stopped, and you'll notice it's if your money, because it's your money taken from your bond, but I digress. You can go to the council and fill in a nil income form. That will reinstate rent and council tax and give access to further help like meter cards, food bank vouchers and emergency cash payments. Because the council was originally created to look after us, not to shit on us like they have been doing. This info is not readily available, sadly, and it should be. The authorities will only deal with it if you ask specifically. So you've got to ask for the nil income form. Otherwise, they'll just shit on you. So if your benefits have been sanctioned, then remember, help is still available. You don't have to be on the streets. You don't have to be without food, water, heating, food. It's available, but they won't tell you because the council are run by a bunch of satanic, Luciferian, child-raping bastards. Just like the government, just like the royals, just like the councils, just like the police, just like the courts. Now that's out of the way, let's get on with a little bit more stuff. But that is of utmost importance. You get that to anyone that needs to know about it. Time to warn you, your elderly neighbours and friends as well. How can anyone support a government that would allow this to happen? When David Clapson died, he had no food in his stomach. David's benefits had been stopped because he missed one appointment at the job centre. Without his benefits, he couldn't afford to eat or put credit on his electricity. The fridge where he kept his insulin went off. 3 weeks later, he died. A pile of CVs was found next to his body. Wake up to government Britain. Fuck off, Fraser Nelson, and fuck your Telegraph column. Food banks in schools, infant mortality rising, life expectancy falling, working people sleeping and dying on the streets, and people living in fucking bins. Open your eyes, you privileged sociopathic top 1% cunt. We reached the end of 2018 with a country that has never been healthier, wealthier, or as the official well-being index tells us, happier. Hashtag despite Brexit. My Telegraph column on what went right in 2018. Telegraph.co.uk, politics, Twitter. And that's what he was replying to. A fucking wanker. Solve the riddle. Take me... Tree... You'll have to figure that out there because I don't see a prison there. Apartheid. It wasn't okay in South Africa. It wasn't okay in Nazi Germany. Why is it okay in Palestine? Congratulations if you just received an honour from the Queen. Rolf Harris, The dirty, filthy, it's a knockout, and Smith. Smith, the same name as the rapist of Mickey Summers. White people be like, gotta help the minorities. That puts it in perspective, doesn't it? You have no mandate to destroy our NHS. And yet the government, and it doesn't matter if it's Liberal, Democrats, Labour, Conservative, they're all puppets controlled by the puppet master who would be doing exactly the same thing that's going on now regardless. Government is the problem. Macron disgraced. French president drawn into new scandal by sacked bodyguard, new job. Emmanuel Macron has become embroiled in another scandal after his sacked security aide was accused of using his former diplomatic passport to carry out consultancy work in Africa. Don't worry about it, they're here for our benefit, aren't they? Well, at least that's the lie they tell us, and we're stupid enough to believe it. KKUK. As Ku Klux Klansmen are pictured on British streets for the first time, David Jones asks if this is the disturbing proof that the far right are on the march. Oh, piss off, you fucking cunt. 8 men seen wearing pointy hoods with fists raised and arms outreached. Ku Klux Klan group carrying wooden crosses in Newtown's Northern Ireland. Photos of the group outside Islamic Centre in County Down flooded social media. Weatherspoons tried to stop entrance but pushed past doormen on Halloween. Oh, get a life. What a pack of life. The doorman would have just knocked them the fuck out. Post for pictures with National Front in pub with fake bloodstains on costume. That is clearly fake news, bullshit, propaganda, divide and conquer. Twitter bashes Queen over video in front of Golden Piano urging subjects to go to food banks, you useless waste of spaces, as she would really have said. Elizabeth of England, she's not of England, she's a fucking bitch, satanic scum, child-eating, adrenochrome, friends-out bitch. Meet the Israeli and Palestinian teenage girls risking jail time to be friends and to march for peace in the region. And I'm going to go the one on the left with the around like that. That is the Israeli, and the one with the nail varnish is a Palestinian. But it doesn't matter. Zionism is and always has been the problem. When every Zionist is hung, executed, had their head chopped off, whatever, every Zionist on this planet is removed, the planet will be a better place. How Zionism helped create the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The covert alliance between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Zionist entity of Israel should be no surprise to any student of British imperialism. The problem is the study of British imperialism has very few students. Indeed, one can peruse any undergraduate or postgraduate British university prospect of really find a module in this political degree of the British Empire, let alone a dedicated degree of master's degree of course if the European-led imperialist carnage in the 4 years between 1949 to 1918 tickles your cerebral cells, then it's not too different to find an appropriate institute to teach this subject. But if you would like to delve into how and why the British Empire waged war on mankind for almost 400 years, you're practically on your own in this endeavour. One must admit that from the British establishment perspective, this is a formidable and remarkable achievement. And of course, the British scum love Saudi Arabia because they just chop your head off. If you get raped, you get your head chopped off for allowing it. That is one of the states that needs to be destroyed, along with the Zionists, any Zionist state. UK's first mobile shower unit for homeless people unveiled in Bournemouth. Now, they're saying this like it's a great thing. Oh, God, look, somewhere for the homeless to go and shower. How about giving them a fucking home, you morons? Israel boycott restrictions thrown out by UK High Court. Oh, should that be by the Zionist High Court? Boxing Day hunt, horrific footage of fox savagely killed by hounds. Have you not had a fucking enough of these bastards? They fucking hunt foxes just like they hunt children. They just let you see the fox hunting because they don't want you to see the children hunting. These fuckers on horseback need fucking executing. Uncover ancient truths to transform humanity. What could vanished civilizations, ancient texts and sacred sites teach humanity today? Author, scientist and exopolitics Michael Tellinger examines the history, the words cut off, of amongst completely erased from our records, see technology before its time, rethink civilization when the truth about our origins is exposed. Now that's a video. It's only a 30-second video. It's either in the links or it's at the end. I'm going to be watching it when it comes out, the video that is. A manufactured migrant crisis to create anti-EU sentiment ahead of the big Brexit vote. Border force. Some have criticised for the government's immigration control. What control? Enforcers for failing to keep the refugees out, but the real question is what's to be done in the best interest. The Tories really think we're stupid, don't they? They've dreamed up a crisis, crisis involving people trying to get into the UK from European Union. Clearly the EU isn't doing its job and keeping these people out, right? Well, it's not actually that clear. Here's the BBC's version of the story, which will be utter fucking bollocks. Food bank opens at school after famished children start stealing from lunchboxes. This is government. Doesn't matter who. This is government caused. If you've not fucking had enough of this government, but it doesn't matter which one, then you're fucking retarded. I'm not going to read the story because it may just piss me off. Rape victim left homeless because she was too afraid to return to her flat. A homeless woman was abused by her dad from the age of 5, fostered from she was 9, and fell pregnant at 16. Throughout her pregnancy, Zina fought to keep her baby, but when her daughter was born, she suffered the postnatal depression, and wanting a better life for her child, she decided to put her up for adoption. When Zina became now 23, was eventually given a flat of her own, she was raped by 2 friends and ended up homeless because she was too scared to go back home. You find them 2 friends and you fucking execute them. I've had enough of this bullshit. The government need executing. The bent judges need executing. Those that are high up in the police need executing. And I'll fucking execute him if need be. Ill-gotten gains. DWP staff get New Year bonus while benefit claimants go hungry. And this fucking bitch, Satanist shit, I'll execute her as well. Just say it's okay and I will execute the fucking lot of them. Disgraced Amber Rudd thinks DWP staff deserve honours for the harm they have done to huge numbers of vulnerable people. And that's because she's a fucking Satanist. Yeah, I may have just spat on the fucking camera lens. But this needs I've had enough of this shit. And if you haven't, maybe you've got a problem. Lucky for some, 13 staff from the Department of Work and Pensions are named in the New Year honours for making a real difference to the lives of countless individuals by starving them to death. The announcement has been welcomed by Amber Rudd, the satanic bitch. The disgraced former Home Secretary who is currently disgracing the position of Work and Pension Secretary. But hey-ho, you know, let's just ignore it. Let's give her some credit. No, let's fucking hang her. Sobering footage shows orangutan fighting off excavators to protect his home. A fucking orangutan's got more bollocks than the fucking British public. Now, although there was loads attended Tom Crawford's eviction or non-evictions, this fucking animal has more bollocks than the rest of the population of the UK. They just sit there, oh, well, Coronation Street's who cares if we're destroying an animal's home? I fucking care. And if you don't fucking care, maybe you're a fucking imbecile. Adult migrant violently rapes 9-year-old Swedish child because he was looking for someone to rape. That fucker needs executing, and I will execute him if it's made legal. The African who raped a Swedish child says he was looking for someone to rape that day, and he didn't care if it was a child. News outlet Free Tider reports. The 30-year-old Libyan who was charged with a brutal rape of a 9-year-old girl in Malmo earlier this year was sentenced by district judge for aggravated rape of a child on Friday. He wasn't sentenced correctly. The sentence should be death. This'll shock you. French media speaks fake news about number of Yellow Vest protests, portraying them as fewer. Just like the British media. The media is the control system and the problem, along with the government. Yellow Vest protests have turned against mainstream media. Well, if they've only just turned now, then they're fucking behind things. And the country is accusing them of spreading fake news about the size of the movement. While protests for the 7th Saturday in a row, this time the Yellow Vests also targeted mainstream media. And if you look there, there's not just a few hundred. There's not just a few thousand. The whole of France has got a backbone, unlike Britain. French newspaper Le Monde, well, we just heard about how trustworthy they are, apologises for magazine cover amid claims it likened Macron to Hitler. Hitler was actually a good guy compared to Macron. Eiffel Tower is shrouded by smoke as Paris burns into the night. Iconic landmark shines through choking black pale after Yellow Vest, fucking lies, agent provocateurs, protesters set cars ablaze for the 7th weekend as they call on Macron to go. And if you look at that picture, that has been fucking engineered by the fucking French government. Protesters set cars alight. No, agent provocateurs set cars alight. I've been watching the fucking videos that are coming out of the independent men and women in France, and you can clearly see it's the agent provocateurs doing this. So the police are the problem, as well as the government, of course. Protesters, agent provocateurs set cars alight and left them to burn. No, the police left them to burn because they wanted this. They'd been ordered to stand back. They could have easily ordered the fire brigade to come and put them out, but they didn't, because this is order out of chaos and unfolding in your eyes. It left them to burn in the streets of the capital city as agent provocateurs and demonstrations resumed. Earlier today, Yellow Vest demonstrators clashed with riot police who fired tear gas at the crowds in Paris. So let's just get this right. I've got a bright yellow vest on saying I'm a peaceful protester, and the pigs are shooting tear gas. They've got batons, and they've got guns. Who Who are the problem again? Tear gas also fired into in Nantes, Western France, and protesters were expected in Lyon, Bordeaux and Toulouse. Small groups, French paper so, large groups took to the streets in Paris, elsewhere in France, calling for resignation of the Zionist Macron. Despite it being the 7th weekend of protests, momentum for the movement appears to be waning. Growing, fucking growing, lying French shit paper. And I'm not going to read any more of that, but because it'll just be more bullshit. Now this should have you pissed as well. Daily Fail. Sitcom queen who made Middle England laugh for 7 decades. Great. Thank you. 30,000 times over. PM hails mail campaign after 1,000 reasons volunteer every day to help the NHS. You're a slave. And then look at this evil satanic bitch. Crackshot Kate buys her own gun. Not evil satanic bitch shooting defenceless animals. No, Crackshot Kate. You read the papers? The Guardian. Shortage of mental health care is putting children at risk, GP warns. In survey, 99% of doctors express fear delays will harm young people. It's a disgrace that so many children are turned away. No, it's by a Zionist, satanic, fucking government. And I will execute every fucking one of them. Just make it legal and I will fucking pull the handle, string them up, chop the fucking head off any which way, anything to get rid of these bastards. France and UK vow to halt people smuggling. Well, they shouldn't have been fucking doing it in the first place, should they? Flaming Hogmanay. Mirror. Dame Babs, I was in awe of June. I wanted to be like her. I thought she had Alzheimer's and couldn't remember anything. More fucking lies in the papers. Hospitals in cash crisis. Tory NHS cuts halt 70,000 operations. Lack of staff, beds and equipment force surge in cancellations. Let's hang the fucking government. They're the bastards that have caused this problem. Along with the royals, the bent judges, the corrupt fucking councils. Tell, lie, graph. Javid, no easy answer to migrant crossing. Yes, you turn them all fucking back or you get fucking hung. How about that? Let's see what you fucking do then, you piece of shit. Situation in Channel is difficult to control, warns Home Secretary as he returns home after his shooting holiday. Hammond accused of failing to fund no deal plans. I've told you, I will hang every fucking one of them. Make it legal and I'll hang the bastards. Her most miserable row. Where is the fury over Japan's decision to start whaling again? I think you're seeing the fury, you fucking... Hopes of Alzheimer's jab within 10 years. Coconut oil. Fucking coconut oil! Get it down your neck. Trends to look out for, from smart mirrors to part-time veganism. Fuck the trends. Just become a vegetarian. It's way simple and it will, if it's organic vegetarian, especially if you grow it yourself in a greenhouse so the chemtrails can't get on it, you won't get any diseases. Minister, parents need screen time limits too. I tell you what, I've fucking had enough of these ministers, whatever they want to call themselves. Prime Minister, Minister of this, Minister of that. It's all Catholic, it's all fucking church, it's all religion, it's all control. And I've had a fucking enough. Luton terror suspect fought in Syria. Then why wasn't he deported? Because it's by design, by a satanic fucking government. Express. Dame Barbara, I was in awe of my wonderful pelt June. Except I've got Alzheimer's and I can't remember her. Bullshit papers, lies and deception. Look over here, look over here, look over here. Don't look at the pedos in fucking government. Stars for 2019. Fuck off. Million snub check to spot dementia. Simple NHS test that detects early symptoms is taken up by only half of those who have offered it. Well, I tell you this, rather than take that test, I'll go and get myself a spoon of coconut oil and I won't get dementia. Or maybe, if I could get hold of it, I'll get cannabis oil, which reverses dementia also. Oh, it also cures cancer, fits, you name it. But the fucking satanic government don't want you to know. In fact, Theresa May says cannabis has no medical benefits. Well, you know what, Theresa May? I'll make a special exception for you and I will execute you for free. Security beefed up for Queen. I've got a rope for her as well. And she won't be one of the first. And the rest of the royal fucking parasitical scum. Waste of paper star. Football. Dave Spikey, I can't get a show on TV. It's because no one wants to see you, Dave. Fern looking abs fab. Snoop, I'll save Brit dog. Fucking Satanist scum bastard. Our sex course is worse than Strictly. Judge Jason, loads of random couplings backstage. And even on New Year's Eve, fucking Strictly in the paper. If you've not had enough of Strictly, because the word Strictly means control, and that's why they push it all the time. Anything but independent. Now just look at these four fucking cunts here. More war is brewing in the Middle East. Really? Not caused by the Zionists then? You should spend January on the sofa. So you want us to be couch potatoes. Get ready for a year of living ethically. Well, we should, but I still don't mean that you are the one that can tell us, Harriet. Blame Cantona for the age of post-truth. What are you fucking talking about, you dipshit? Deadly violence and vote rigging claims on Bangladesh goes to the polls. Or deadly violence and vote rigging as Britain goes to the polls would be more correct. Families forced to beg online as universal credit leaves them destitute. Time to hang the government. The Times. Javid's deal on migrants is 2 weeks, say Tories. Well, what a shock! 2 weeks, and we're letting more in, are we? Oh, beside the migrant pact, have we? Oh, well, you've got to do that then, haven't you? Unless we hang the fucking lot of them and fucking just no one's allowed in for 10 years. Criticism as more Iranians cross channel. Oh, it's the Iranians, is it? We'll point finger at Iran because that's our next fucking target. FTSE firms find older bosses a wise investment. Bacon risk ignored. It causes cancer. Not just because of the bacon, but because it's got one chromosome different to a human. So you're actually cannibalism. And of course, it's full of fucking pumped up pharmaceutical shit. Siblings separated, illegal taxing warning, deadly escape route, HMV collapses, Murray reveals pain. Financial Times, beyond Pluto, the space voyage hurtling into the unknown. 2018 year in charts, from populism and pollution to the fastest broadband. Executive burnout, too many business leaders prize overworking. Voters distrust Clouds Congo's historic poll. Unlike in Britain, where we know we trust the polls because they'll always be right. Oh, except of course that every single vote is always rigged. The only reason they didn't rig the last one, the Leave EU one, was because they thought we'd vote to remain. They thought we were that dumb. And now we of course voted that. They fixed it so it's 49-51 or 48-52. Take your pick of whichever fixed vote assessment you want. Either way, it was rigged. And of course now we're about to go in to have a second referendum. But wait a minute, We've had a referendum and we voted to leave. We haven't left. Could it possibly be their policy that they didn't want us to vote to leave, and now we did? They've had to move things around rather quickly to make sure that we vote to leave in the next one. But that means that the next one is actually totally pointless because they haven't done what they said they would do in the first one. So, in effect, it's a fucking scam. Commuting to EU, not long-term option, US banks warn city staff. Thousands of jobs to move, support cut off the mouths, in months. Policy matches regulator goals. China's exchange to end the year as worst performing stock market. Poorer areas have less access to doctors' services. By design, by a fucking criminal government. And like I've said, I will personally hang everyone when it becomes lawful. And that might get me bad karma, but I have had enough of the fucking corruption in this country. And if you haven't, you've not been paying a fucking attention.